Welcome home to USA Global TV and Radio, a place where dreams take flight, with authentic storytelling, diverse perspectives and meaningful conversations, where global stories unite and bridges are built beyond all borders. Discover world-class education, entertainment, hope and inspiration. Together, we're building bridges worldwide. Subscribe to our channel, USA Global TV. Download our app, USA Global TV. Be our guest or join our team. Visit usaglobaltv.com. Thanks to our founder and executive producer, Dr. JACALYN KERBECK. Music score by Yeffy Tang from Cloud Road Music. Voiceover artist Mike Porter. Creative direction by Paul Garcia. USA Global TV and Radio, your home for global connection. All rights reserved. This video and its contents are the exclusive property of USA Global TV and Radio. Unauthorized use, duplication or redistribution in any form is strictly prohibited.
Welcome everyone. Don't change the channel. You are in the right place. USA Global TV and Radio, and our show, You as a Whole, Body, Mind, and Soul. I'm Dr. JACALYN KERBECK, and it's my absolute pleasure and honor to be opening and closing this show today for the star of our show, Justin MIRIGLIANI. I just want to give a big thank you to all of you who are following us, who subscribed on our channels, who've downloaded our app. It means so much because our goal is really to leave a legacy of world-class education, entertainment, hope, and inspiration. So for our show today, we're going to be talking about self-sabotage. And Justin and I were just having a chat backstage about this. It's more common than you think. And maybe sometimes we don't even realize that we're doing it. I do it to myself quite frequently. But enough about me. Let's talk about the star of our show. Justin and I have been friends for a number of years. We met through the Crohn's Colitis Foundation, and we actually have been in person together. We've shared meals together. We've done spinning together for the Crohn's Colitis Foundation. He's an incredible person. He has a big heart, and he really does as much as he can to help other people. If you're not following on Facebook, please go there now and just look up Justin MIRIGLIANI. He posts some really cool things. He's got his own weather page. He's a weatherman too. He's an entrepreneur. He has his own business just for you, training and coaching, and he helps people with soft skills. So if you're a company out there and you're looking to hire an expert to bring this information to your teams, look no further. He also started his own charity, and I'm going to let him talk a little bit about that because there is a section of the show where we really spend some time on that. And he, as I mentioned, is an advocate, but he's also an advocate for mankind. He's also an advocate for the planet. He's an advocate for kindness, for respect, for treating others like you would want to be treated. Let's welcome the star of our show, Mr. Justin MIRIGLIANI. Hello.
Hi, Dr. JACALYN. It's kind of hard to follow that.
Well, you're all of that, so I'm following you. So
I appreciate it. I really do. I do. And I thank you for that. And thank you for this platform, for allowing us to be able to talk about the things that we talk about. And I'll cut to the chase. We and I've said this before on other shows, and it's the truth. When you put a microphone in somebody's face, or they're holding a microphone, or they're in front of the classroom, or if they're wearing a white lab jacket or lab coat, we assume that they have all the answers and they always follow their own advice. And that's simply not true. It isn't true. I can tell you right now, and I know this for a fact because I've talked to therapists about this. I've never, ever hid the fact that I suffer from depression, anxiety, and OCD. Now, it's normally under control. It's most of the time I'm okay, I'm fine. But I need therapy, just like if somebody had a bad leg, if they were born with cerebral palsy, or if they were born with a spinal injury, or if they were born with something else and they needed a cane, they would use a cane. So I use therapy. It's really no different. And if somebody had diabetes, they would take insulin. Well, if I don't, at least right now, don't have diabetes, and hopefully I won't, but if I did, I would take insulin. So I was born unfortunately, with mental illness. Now, when you say mental illness, there's a stigma with that. And it's like, well, then you're crazy. Mental illness means that you're nuts. You know, you're going to shoot up a school, you're going to kill a bunch of people, you're going to commit suicide, you're going to do this, you're going to do that. And that's not true. There's levels of illness. Just like, again, there are levels of illness of all kinds of things. I mean, there are some cancers that if you get them, they'll tell you, don't worry about it. We can treat this with no problem. And there are other cancers where they say, you know, make your will and you got 6 months. I mean, it's different. They're all degrees of these illnesses that are there. It's not one size fits all. And I come on this show every week and I try to preach how to be positive, how to be strong, and how to show confidence and exude confidence. And I think I do that a lot of the time, but let me peel back the curtain for you a little bit. And there have been things that I'm going to run down real quick what's happened over the last several weeks. I blew out a tire a couple weeks ago and was stuck on Broad Street, the bridge, where there's a shoulder that's so tiny that I knew, or at least I thought, in seconds I was going to be smashed by a car driving by as I was changing the tire, as I was headed to an event. So that was number one. I'm not going to get political, but the tariffs, have they hurt me? Absolutely. 2 companies have so far ended the training, at least for the time being, and I won't be training for them anymore. I also lost about $25,000 in revenue this month. My charities, trying to get companies to partner with my charities is getting harder because the economy's not doing well, and the stock market's dropping like a rock, and they are reluctant to let go of money. I understand that, but at the same time, it's something you're working like crazy to try to get going, and you get hit in the face with that. It's tough. We had to tell my oldest daughter that she wasn't going to be able to go to the college of her choice because we couldn't afford to send her there, and then to watch her be upset about that and have to console her over that was crushing. You feel like a failure as a father. You feel like you haven't, I help all these people. I do all these good things for everybody, and I had this charity, and yet my own child, I can't do enough to get her where she needs to be. And I've been watching a lot of, and I'm starting not to believe what I'm seeing. This whole idea, as I've been single and separated, there is the concern that no one will ever want to be with me because, maybe I'm not confident enough. Maybe I'm not this enough. Maybe I'm not rich enough. Maybe I'm not good looking enough. Maybe I'm not that enough. Maybe I'm not successful enough. And I think I've gotten these ideas from these videos about stoicism and how important it is to be stoic and not show any emotion. You can have the emotions, but your reaction to the emotions has to be tempered. And I've been so worried about that. That's something I say to myself, gee, do I come across that way? Do I come across as stoic? And maybe I don't. And maybe that's not really what people want. Maybe that's what people think they want. Because I see people who act confident a lot, who I know, I could see it. That's false bravado. It's all fake. It's not a real confidence. It's a facade that you can see right through. And there are also other people who are very, very good at it, that are really good and will make you think that they're confident. But how are they feeling when they're at home, when they're laying in bed and they're looking at the ceiling because something's bothering them? And, this idea that men have all the answers, that men have to be strong all of the time. I'm not saying you're going to fall apart constantly, but you know what? You're going to get knocked down. And the key is whether you get up or not. I mean, I know I preached that, but I felt embarrassed for myself this weekend because I wasn't able to do that. I was down and I stayed down all weekend long. I just could not move. I couldn't find the energy to pull myself out of it. And yeah, it's only a weekend, so it's not like it's bad. But the last 2 weeks have been rough for me. But there are a lot of factors in play. You know, I don't know how easy it would be for me to get back into the workforce where just a month ago I'm thinking I'm building a business and things are going really well, and maybe I'm going to surge, became a six-figure business on my own. And well, not on my own, there was luck and there were people who helped me along the way, so I won't say on my own, but I built it into a six-figure business, and I'm thinking it's going to grow. And then all of a sudden I get two major clients that pull out and I lose $25,000 in a month. And if those two clients don't come back and I lose any more, I could be out of business completely. And I'm staring down the barrel of that gun right now. And you want me to pretend that I'm not worried? You want me to put on a show that it's not scary to me? It's not something that makes me think, how am I going to get out of this mess? Of course I do. I mean, how could I not? And my question is, why are we still in the archaic idea that if it's a man that shows a sign of weakness, it shows he's not confident? Let me tell you something. Confidence is important, and I'm confident, but confidence is not going to win you the battle all the time. There are other factors that come in. Think about a person who's really confident that owned a restaurant in 2020. Maybe they started the restaurant in 2016 and it was going really well. They were making a ton of money. And then COVID hit in 2020 and they lost the business. I don't care how confident you are, you're not stopping that. There's nothing you can do about it. Yeah, I talk about it with people with illnesses. When I was chronically ill, I fought. But there's only so much you can do. I was confident that I could beat it, yeah. But I didn't beat it except for surgery. I had to have radical surgery to beat it. You see people with stage 4 cancer, of course, they're going to try to fight it. But you know deep down that the odds are not likely that they're going to beat it. You got to know that. I mean, you have to understand that. So this idea that confidence could overcome everything and strength is where it's at. And yeah, that plays a role. I mean, I think without it, you're doomed. But to think that you could carry it forever is such a falsehood. It's crazy. It's crazy. So I'm trying to reconcile the fact that maybe the Greek Stoics were not right 100%. And maybe the idea that women will only be interested in men who are strong 100% of the time is a bunch of crap. Maybe it's not true. Maybe vulnerability is where the strength is. You know, I saw a message the other day, a meme that said, fathers never let their kids see their tears. They go into the bathroom or they go into the car and take a long ride and they shed their tears there, but they never let their kids see their tears. Why? What are you teaching the kids? You teaching the kids that there's no reason to never get upset, to never cry, to never be broken? What good does that do? How does that help? When my daughter was crying over not being able to go to where she wanted to go to school, I was sobbing over top of her. I didn't hide. I didn't run in the closet. I didn't jump in the car and drive away. I cried like a baby right there. Now, am I embarrassed by it? No, I'm not embarrassed by it. Did I enjoy it? No, not a lick. I mean, nobody would enjoy that. It was a terrible situation. And it set the tone pretty much for the rest of the week and the weekend. You know, I'm facing with the divorce, the loss of the kid's childhood home. That's hard to have to tell your kids you can't stay in the house that you grew up in and have to walk them out. You know what it's like to do that, to have to tear their heart out like that, and then try to wonder how you did as a father, how you could have done things differently, how you could have been better at this. You know, another thing is I had a company in China and I hope it still works out, but there was a chance for a long-term deal that where we could have really done some real good for a lot of ostomy patients and colitis patients around the world. And I was going to travel to Europe and to China and even Africa and all over the world. And eventually, you know, it might take time to make some money and really good money and finally have financial security that would be beyond above and beyond what I would need. And then I could really, do other things I want to do by helping people out and making sure my kids have everything they need. And when they are old enough to buy a house, to be able to put the down payment on their house. And I had all those dreams, and then the tariffs come in, and we talk it over, and now that's on the back burner, and we're not sure we're going to be able to do that. That's then you get kicked in the teeth enough times, and it's just, you can't get kicked anymore. There's no more fight left. So you lay down for a while. Now, that doesn't mean you lay down forever, but I needed at least the weekend. And am I 100% fine? No, I'm not 100% fine. Am I worried about it? Am I going to sleep well tonight? Probably not. I'm probably not going to sleep well tonight. I'm probably going to worry about the things that I just told you. I'm probably going to think about the things that I just told you. And I'm going to try not to, but they're going to creep into my head, and I'm not going to be able to stop them. They're just going to come back. And, I try not to be jealous of people, but I sometimes see people work as hard as I do, not necessarily less hard or more harder, the same. And for them, sometimes the breaks just keep going their way, and man, they get ahead. And that happened for me a few times. And then there's times where no matter what you do, the breaks just don't want to come your way. And it's like running on a treadmill. And again, part of the guilt that I feel is that I come on this show and I talk about and present to you who I am and who I want to be. And sometimes I'm not that. Sometimes that's not who I am, and what I want to be and who I want to be is not what I can be at that moment. And Dr. Jacalyn said it's like getting all red lights, no green, or at least very few. And that's true. We've all been there where we're in a hurry to get someplace, and it's like every block there's a red light. It's like, come on. And do these lights ever turn green? Am I ever going to catch a break? Am I ever going to be able to get there? What does it take? And then the doubt that creeps in, that like, at first I was afraid to put it on Facebook or even talk about it on the show, because again, when I was married, it's a different story. But when you're a single man and you put out there that you have vulnerabilities and that you have things that are a struggle, do you turn women off? Do you tell women, is that the lack of confidence that he can't handle everything? Ladies, if you're looking for somebody who can handle everything, it's a long look. You're not going to find that person. You're going to find the person that can handle a lot, but you're never going to find the person that handles everything. And you're going to have to be a crutch too. It's not going to just be the guy that is the crutch. It can't be. This isn't 1950 Leave It to Beaver anymore, where dad has all the answers and mom cooks everything. And mom cleans up the house, and dad comes home, and if there's a problem, dad fixes it. It doesn't work that way. And it didn't work that way in the 50s either. It's just a depiction of what we wanted it to be, or what they wanted it to be. But it wasn't true. And it's not true now. So I'm going to work on not worrying about that. I'm going to work on the fact that it's okay, that there are going to be times that I'm not going to be strong. It's all right. Some days I go into the gym and I leg press 800 pounds for 12 reps. 800 pounds for 12 reps. And then another day I go in the gym and I leg press 800 pounds for 3 reps, and I can't get another rep out of it. Why? Because some days I'm stronger than others. Some days I'm feeling really good and I'm strong and I'm powerful. I've eaten well and I'm not run down and I'm ready to go. And then there are other days where I'm run down and I can't get going. And Dr. Jackson, one of her gastros, told her not to talk about UC on the air, UC being ulcerative colitis, which we've talked about on the air many, many times. He said to keep it private. How can I help anyone by doing that? You can't. You can't help anyone. It's like the bag. People say to me, the same thing as when I had UC, with ulcerative colitis. I would tell people all the time that I'm chronically ill, and people would say, "Well, why are you telling everybody? You know?" And again, it comes back to the man-woman dynamic. It's well, women are not going to find a man who is ill somebody worth going out with, or somebody worth dating, or now in my case with a bag, somebody who's got an ostomy, who that can't that he's not a full man, he's not a real man, or a man with depression or mental illness, but he's got to take a pill or a couple of pills, or he goes to therapy. These are things that you could keep them to yourself, but you know how many people go through this? I just looked it up the other day. It's 70 million people that go for psychiatric therapy, like intensive outpatient care. 70 million. The only difference between me and the 70 million is they don't talk about it. The only difference between Dr. JACALYN and then I don't know how many hundreds of thousands of people or millions of people in the United States who have inflammatory bowel disease is that they don't talk about it. They're afraid to, because they're going to think people will judge them. People are going to say they're weak, or people are going to say they're disgusting, or they're this or they're that. Well, if we don't talk about it, then everyone's going to think that. I mean, think about this, and this is hard to talk about. I'll be honest with you, but we're all adults here, and when we were kids, everybody thought that a person who masturbated was a freak, and if you did that you were weird. There was something wrong with you. Well, that's a natural thing that everybody does, that everyone has done. And how many kids went home wondering if they were weird, or if there was something wrong with them, or if they were no good, or if they were sick, or they were depraved, or something like that. Or how about gay people in their commercials you'll see on YouTube in the 50s, where they talk about look out for the homosexual. And if you see one, steer clear, because you never know what's going to happen to you, that you might wind up on the 6 o'clock news or whatever. What is that? How many gay kids went home and wondered why they were a freak? What was wrong with them? Why they were bad? Why they were terrible? Why they weren't worth anything? Human things that we all have, that we all do. I'm not saying we're all gay, but again, masturbation, or impure thoughts, or the Catholic Church, growing up Catholic, impure thoughts. If you thought it, you did it. That's a bunch of, I don't believe that. I don't believe that. We all have impure thoughts. We all have nasty things that we think in our head, angry things that we think in our head. Doesn't mean we're going to do them. It doesn't mean that we're going to follow through and actually act on those thoughts. I mean, haven't you ever had somebody cut you off in traffic, or give you the finger, or yell at you and wish you want to deck them? I mean, you just want to punch them right in the face. You can want to do that. You can want to all you want. You can feel that. Can't do it. Can't act on it. But you can feel it. You could have that compulsion, but that doesn't mean you could act on it. That's the difference. The problem, the crime, or the sin, or whatever you want to call it, is the action. It's not the thought. It's not the thought. But I'm staying away from this idea, and there are women out there that are doing this too. There's this woman. Her name is Marnie the Wing Girl, and she talks all these things about women's body language, and if they look at you this way, or if they act this way, or if they do this. I'm like, oh my God, there's so many things that she brings up that it's like you would have to have 6 eyes to be able to figure out all the things that are potentially, are they hitting on you, or do they not like you? Do they like you if you do this? Is that good? Is that bad? If you say this in response to what she says, is that good or that bad? It started to drive me crazy. It started to get me to the point where I was paranoid of talking to anyone, and just wondering, what do they think I said? What do they believe I said? And then that is where you lose your confidence. And what people have been telling me, and it's slowly getting through the thick, hard skull that I have, because I do struggle with trying to believe in my own self-worth sometimes of my own ability. But what I'm trying to think is just be who you are. And if they like you, they like you. If they don't, they don't. What are you going to do about it? It's not going to be something that I'm going to enjoy. You know, if there's a woman out there that I'm really into and she's just not, then she's not. And there's not much I can do about it. And if there's a woman out there that's really into me and there's no connection that way, then that's the same thing. I mean, there's nothing that can be done about that. I think that's got to be, now, here's where I say we don't take our own advice. If I meet somebody and I fall for them and they don't fall for me, and is it going to knock me down? Yes. Yes. I will tell you right now, it'll knock me down. And will it knock me down for a little while? Yes. It'll knock me down for a little while. Will I lose my confidence? Yes, for a little while. Will I lose my will to keep going? Yep. I will, for a little while. And then slowly I'll fight my way back. See, it's like if you watch a Rocky movie, he doesn't win in the first round. Otherwise, the movie would suck. Right? If Rocky went out there in the first round and beat the hell out of his opponent and knocked him through the ropes and into the crowd, where's your movie? So in the movie, what has to happen? Well, Rocky comes out and he starts winning, and it looks like Rocky's going to win the fight. But then all of a sudden it turns around and the opponent, you know, Ivan Drago or Clubber Lang or Apollo Creed, they come back and they start pounding the daylights out of Rocky. Now it looks like Rocky's going to lose. And the referee's about to stop the fight and says, Rocky, you're done. And Rocky says, no, I'm not done yet. Don't you stop the fight. And Rocky fights back and he starts winning again. It looks like he's going to turn the tide. That's it. He's got it. And what happens? The other fighter comes back again. And Rocky's on the ground again. And Rocky gets the 8 count. And he gets up. And he fights back. And he gets knocked down again. And he fights into the 8 count. And then he fights back. And that's our whole lives is what we're going to do. We're sandcastles on the beach. We're built. And then overnight, those waves come in and they knock the damn thing right down. And guess what? Tomorrow you're gonna rebuild it or you don't. You could step on it, you could stomp on it, you could kick it, you could cry, you can do whatever you want. But at the end of the day, it's either rebuild it or quit. And that's the 2 choices you have. Now, does that mean you're going to rebuild it every day? No, there might be you might take a week off. And that might be the time that you recoup and you say, you know what? I don't have it in me to rebuild this thing. I don't have it in me this week. I'll have it in me next week. That's when it'll come back. And that's when I'll do it. And I'll rebuild it, knowing full well that the damn thing's going to get knocked down again. The waves are going to come in and hit it, knock it down. Or somebody's going to step on it and kick it over because they think it's funny. But it's going to go down. And you have a choice. You can build it. Or you could let it stay down and just keep flattening out and then just be gone. And that's it. And there are some times where even I wonder, you know, would it have been better if I wasn't even born? Would it have been better? Would life have been better if I wasn't here? If my life hadn't, you know, I wouldn't have these problems, right? If I wasn't born. Did you ever watch It's a Wonderful Life, the Christmas movie? You know, George Bailey gets to see life as if he had never been born. And I think about that a lot. What if I wasn't born? You know, would I, a lot of people would not, well, my 2 kids wouldn't be here, but people's lives would be different. But I wouldn't have the suffering that I'm going through at the moment. But I guess the key word is at the moment. And I guess I'm not just talking to you out there. I'm talking to myself in here at the same time, because it is moment to moment. This isn't going to last forever. I'm not going to be down on my luck forever. You know, my therapist, that's another thing. This one's really hard. This is going to be tough. Wednesday, I'm going to be in tears and I'm going to be slumped over. I've been with my therapist for 28 years. 27, 28 years, whatever it is, 1997. We started together. 1997 was pure hell. One day I'll do a show and tell you about 1997 and what a complete and utter disaster that year was for me. It was pure hell. This year's bordering on it, but 97 and 25, a lot of similarities. But he was my therapist, and I'll be damned if now I'm going through a lot of hard times and he's getting ready to retire. And I would have to move on to somebody else. And yeah, that's going to put me on my ass. It's going to knock me down, and I'm going to be hurting. And I know that appointment. At the end of that appointment, I'll be sobbing, I'll be crying, and I will be devastated. And that's a relationship that's meant a lot to me for all those years, and he's got me through a lot. Think about all the things he's got me through: colitis, being sick, getting married, having kids, having a major operation, having my body change forever, going through heavy weight gain, going through the fat loss, going through the frailties that come with mental illness, all those things. And I got to say goodbye to him. And I'm not going to have a good day on Wednesday. And I'm probably not going to have a good day on Thursday or Friday either. But we don't take our own advice is what the topic of the show is. But maybe I should have said it differently. Maybe I should say we can't always take our own advice. Doctor, heal thyself. If you're a cardiologist and you have heart disease, then you're a cardiologist with heart disease. There's psychiatrists who need psychiatrists. They have mental illness. That's what they do for a living, but they still need a psychiatrist for themselves. In fact, most of them will tell you that they go to a psychiatrist or some other kind of therapist for their own therapy, because their lives are locked into the misery of all the other lives that they have to try to get out of the mud. So they struggle too. So Dr. Jacalyn, I know you're back there. I want to get your input on this stuff. I want you to see what you think about this. If you're still there. Are you there, Dr. Jacalyn?
I'm here, but you caught me out of the studio because you said you were doing the rest of the show.
Sorry about that.
That's okay. Here I am. I'm back. So I've heard everything that you said, and I have a little bit of a different philosophy. So okay. I hope you'll be open to it.
Sure.
I believe that everything that happens to us, and you're not going to like the word because I know you don't like it, but it's an opportunity for growth. I was going to say stronger, to make us stronger, but I'm not saying that. I think it's an opportunity for growth. And you have had a lot happen to you, and you are going through a lot. And my heart does go out to you because you are such a beautiful person and you have such an open heart. I also believe that you have incredible strength that you don't even realize that you have. At the gym, with the amount of plates that you can put on and the amount of work that you can do, you are physically so strong. You know that. But you're also emotionally so strong. And I don't know that you see that. And so what I'd like to offer up to you is this. Your therapist, that is going to be a tough moment. On the other hand, this person's been with you for 28 years. What an incredible gift. What a gift that you've had this relationship for so long. And now this person is deciding to retire. And so maybe look at it as though you two had this journey together. And now it's time for both of you to go your own way, because you are so strong. And I know you don't see it, but I see it in you. And the other thing I'd like to offer up is there's something about the word stoic. I used to say my mother was stoic, but in all actuality, she wasn't really stoic. She was actually more insecure, but I didn't know that until after she passed away. I feel like there's a fine line between being emotional and finding a solution. And over the last, I would say 4 or 5 years, from taking care of my mother and my health issues and running this business and on and on and on, that I basically give myself a 10-minute time out For anything that I feel is upsetting to me, I go, okay, you can have a pity party. It's 10 minutes and that's the end. Because after that, you are going to look for the solution. What is the solution to the issue? I don't look at it as a problem. When my apartment was flooded, okay, that was through no fault of my own. I had to move out. I had ulcerative colitis. I had to go to the emergency room. I mean, all kinds of things. But I kept saying to myself, okay, yeah, you're dealing with a lot of stuff, but look at each thing individually instead of the whole thing together, because all of it together is too much. It's too much.
That's a
So
huge key.
the car situation with the tire, thank God you weren't hit. Thank God you were able to change the tire, however you got a new tire, and you were able to drive the car. Okay, your business is still functioning and operational, and you can get new clients, because I know I've lost clients because they are moving on or whatever they're doing. And I think, okay, now that they're leaving, someone else will come in. And I think someone else will come in for you. You will find new clients when you set your mind to the fact that that's the solution for your business. The solution is finding new clients. You'll focus on finding clients.
That's a good point. That's a good point.
So I just want to leave you with this. I love you dearly. And you know, you have a huge following and everybody wants you to win. I know that. I just want you to flip everything on its head and say, and this is hard, but we talk about it a lot with Philip Sykes and the Power of Etiquette and Manners. How and why is this happening for me? For me. How and why is this divorce happening for you? How and why is the fact that your daughter can't go to this school, how is that happening? How and why? Because where will she go? What will she learn? Who are the people she will meet at wherever it is where she goes? So to me, it's an opportunity instead of it's something that's being taken away.
You know, it just made me think of meeting my best friend, Phil, in college. Maybe she'll meet her Phil. He'll be a brother forever. And we just happened to meet at college one day, and actually he didn't like me at first. And then because I was joking around, and it was kind of like I was trying to find myself, of course, at 18 years old, everybody is. And I was joking around with him, and he thought I was arrogant at first. And then he saw it was just jokes and stuff. And now, I mean, he was in my wedding, I was in his wedding, and you know, the kids call Uncle Phil, and his kid calls me Uncle Justin. And yeah, I mean, maybe this is the reason she's going to that school. Maybe she's going to meet her Phil, you know, or her whatever guy or girl who's going to be her best friend for life, or maybe her husband, or I guess that's possible. See, I haven't been able to look at it that way. It's been difficult for me to. It's like I was in a room with smoke in it, and I couldn't see through the smoke. I just, all I could see was smoke.
I understand that. That makes perfect sense. I want to share something that I saw on social media. It was on Instagram, and it was Anthony Hopkins, or his account, it appeared to be. And I think he's an incredible actor, the movies that he's done, and he's in his 80s now, and he's singing, and he plays the piano, and he's an artist, and he's had a lot of adversity in his life. I think he just lost one of his homes out in LA. But this clip that I happened to watch, it was about how to find joy and peace in your life. And there's really 3 steps. The first step is letting go of regrets. And many of us live in the past. We think about, I didn't do this, I could have done that. You know, we have a show on dementia home care, and I took care of my mother for 3.5 years. She had dementia, and I made a lot of mistakes watching the shows. They have experts come on. I'm like, oh, I knew I did that. And now I see I could have done this, but I didn't know. I didn't have the information, and I did the best job that I could do, keeping her at home and taking care of her and starting this business. So I've let go of those regrets. There's nothing I can do about what happened in the past. What I can do is learn and maybe share my learnings with someone else so they can have a different experience than what I had. That's the first thing. The second thing is worrying about the future. And this little video clip referenced scientists, whomever, 88% of all the things that we worry about in the future never happen. They never
That's
happen.
a big number. It's a big number.
It's a big number. And my dad and I used to have this list, and he would say he was worried about this and I was worried about that. And I'm like, Dad, put it on the invisible list. We would just put everything, being hit by a car, this happening, that. And meanwhile, the things that happened to you, you never thought were going to happen because you're so consumed with all the other things that never did happen. And the third thing, the most important thing, which is what I really want you to embrace, Justin, is living your life with passion and joy for the things that really bring you happiness. Whatever those things are, making your life about that. This platform, this business that I have is not a business. It is actually just pure joy for me. People will say, what do you mean you're working again? You're working. I love it. I absolutely love it. Am I getting rich from it? No, but I'm leaving a legacy. You're leaving a legacy by all the shows that you've done here. People can go into the archives until the end of time and they can see what you've done. So you have this huge heart and you have so much to give. And I really would just encourage you to focus on all the positives that you have, all the people who are looking up to you, all the people who watch your shows. They come back week after week because you're inspiring people. You are an inspiration.
I appreciate that. And it helps. It helps.
Well, you know, I'm always here for you. And I always want the best for you. I just would like you to flip things. Look for the solution. I'm not saying that you shouldn't be emotional. There's no should. Be emotional, but maybe time the emotion. Maybe say to yourself, you know what? This is the only time that I have, right? The time is a gift. That is the gift that we have in life, is time. How do you want to spend that time? Maybe creating more things, maybe things that you haven't been able to do. Maybe you'll start doing them and put the energy there instead of what's going to happen or what I couldn't do. Look at what you are doing.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Well, I'm glad I can come out of the darkness in the kitchen back into the studio to share.
In the smoky room.
In the smoky room. We do have a couple of comments.
Do we? Okay.
They were from Rachel. We had 3 comments.
Call me Wednesday or Thursday, bro. Here for you. Thank you, Rachel. I appreciate it.
Rachel's here for you too.
Rachel agrees with you 100%.
Thank you, Rachel. I love it.
You are strong. Thank you, Rachel. I appreciate it. So are you.
You are, Justin. That's why so many people follow you, because they see something in you. And you know, I'm glad that we can be here for you with what you're going through, because even though this is a TV show and you and I are not in the same room and Rachel's not here with us, we are all still having a human experience together. And that's what it's about. It's about supporting one another.
Yeah.
Are you able to go on?
I'm able to go on.
Okay. Do you want to take us to your charity?
I was just going to say, we're up against the clock, so we're going to go.
Yeah, I'm turning it over to you, and I'll keep producing.
All right, sounds good. So everybody, one of the things that I try to do and is important to me is running my charity. Like I said, I had ulcerative colitis. Dr. JACALYN knows what it's like to have ulcerative colitis. She's very open about it, which is very rare. And we need to stop this inflammatory bowel disease now. There's no more waiting. It's got to stop now. And also, I'm an ostomy patient. I have an ileostomy. I will always have an ileostomy for the rest of my life. And I want to help people who are in that position. So we are CHECKMATES Charitable Association, www.checkmatescharity.com. And we're going to watch this little video on the event that we're going to have. It's an NHL celebrity hockey event. We do it now every year, starting up again this year, and it's going to be bigger and better than ever. Take a look at what it was like the last time we did it.
Hey everybody, I just want to tell you how thankful I am that you came out tonight and helped us out on a very special evening. Crohn's and colitis are terrible diseases, and they affect a lot of people, not only in the Delaware Valley, but all over the world. And hopefully we can find a cure someday.
Kevin Owen here with you at the CHECKMATES Versus Flyers alumni. We had a great time this afternoon. Game was close, and we're all here for CHECKMATES Charities, which is the real reason that everybody's here, not only the players, but all the fans that were here. It was a great day, and we're really happy to be here.
It was fun to be out here at Northeast Skate Zone because the Checos were a pretty good team, and so we had a lot of fun with the charity. And it was good because they took it easy on us old guys. So no, we had a good time. So anytime you can do something for charity, and I know a couple guys on the other team, and just to be on the rink, we all go have fun.
Good times go. I'm either gone in an instant or here to the bitter, and I never know what I got.
I want to thank my family for all that they did to help me get through this, and there's a lot of planning that get done. It has to get done. I want to thank Nick's Roast Beef and Common Avenue for all they've done. Dr. Prieto for saving my life and finding the disease and treating me for so long. And the Flyers organization for all they do to help us raise money every year. So thank you, everybody. I appreciate it.
I'll see you when I fall asleep. Baby, I'm ready to go. Baby, I'm ready to go. Baby, I'm ready to go.
So that's it. It's we're www.checkmatescharity.com, and I'm really making a plea with you right now. I mean, finding corporate partnerships, not sponsorships, partnerships, is getting harder and harder and harder because the economy is going down, and so is the stock market. And when that happens, companies don't have extra money for charities. So I'm begging you, if you can give a little, and you're a company and you want your logo on our jersey, you want some time to talk to the crowd. We're going to have possibly up to 750 people in the crowd, 1,000 people at the rink. You can really promote your business. 2-hour open bar that night, $70 for the tickets. That's it, $70 for the tickets. And if you support us, if you're one of our supporters, I'm going to give you at the $15,000 level up to 30 tickets that you can either sell, turn around and sell, or give to your customers, or give to your employees as a thank you for a job well done. You can recoup your money. So the sponsor levels are, there's a $15,000 level. If you go on our website, there's a $10,000 level, and then a $5,000 level. All different levels with so obviously each package had the bigger the package, the more you get out of it. But some of it, you're on the show. We'll talk about your business every week. You become a guest on the show, talk about your business. We have thousands of people who see us around the world. If you can't afford a $5,000 package, we can work on some smaller packages, maybe $2,000 for a logo on the jersey. But we need money. I mean, there's no two ways about it. It costs money to get the players to play. It's thousands of dollars to get the players to play. It's thousands of dollars to rent the rink. It's thousands of dollars to rent the hall and to get the food and everything. But we've been in the papers. We've been all over the place, all over the world. And we support Ralph Benershka, who has Embracing Ostomy Life. So, we really need you. And if we didn't, I wouldn't be saying that. But a lot of videos up there that you could take a look at. And this is where you can buy the tickets, too. So come to the website, www.checkmatescharity.com. It's going to be a great night. A lot of fun with really some great celebrities. So please be there. So thank you for the show. It was cathartic for me. So I got to say it's been helpful and a lot of good advice from Dr. JACALYN, and I appreciate that. And I'm looking forward to seeing you next week. Happier. I'll see you then.
Ever dreamed of hosting your own TV show, sharing your story with a global audience? Now's your chance to shine. At USA Global TV and Radio, we make it easy for you to create, host, and broadcast your very own TV show. Whether you're a storyteller, entrepreneur, or industry expert, we help you bring your vision to life. With our exclusive interview, live streaming, and podcasting training, you'll gain the skills and confidence to captivate your audience. Our global platform ensures your voice is heard worldwide. Join our community of creators who are already making an impact, one show at a time. Step into the spotlight. Host your own TV show on USA Global TV and Radio. Book your discovery call today at usaglobaltv.com. Copyright 2025 USA Global TV and Radio. All rights reserved. Terms and conditions apply. To learn more, visit usaglobaltv.com. Thank you, viewers and listeners of USA Global TV and Radio, for joining us today. We're honored to have your time and attention as part of our global community. At USA Global TV and Radio, we believe in the power of authentic conversations, meaningful connections, and creating a world of possibilities together. Want to be part of something bigger? Join our team of elevated listeners at usaglobaltv.com, a space where your voice matters and your ability to listen transforms relationships. Stay connected with us across all our platforms for thought-provoking discussions, expert insights, and empowering stories. Subscribe to our channels at youtube.com/c/USA-Global-TV. Follow us on social media and explore the endless opportunities we're creating for growth, learning, and inspiration. Together, we're not just broadcasting. We're building bridges and changing lives, one conversation at a time. For inquiries, contact us at info@usaglobaltv.com. Music by Johnny Dies. Produced by Executive Producer and Director Dr. JACALYN KERBECK. Voiceover by Mike Porter. Creative Direction by Paul Garcia. All rights reserved. Copyright 2025. Visit usaglobaltv.com to view our full terms and conditions.